Yeah, hello and welcome everybody. My name is Kevin Manke, and today I'm here with Richard Pols from the Netherlands. Richard, I invited you, or a few weeks ago, we talked about the possibility to have a talk together, and today is the day, so I'm very glad about it. I'm happy, so thank you for coming. Thank you that it is possible.
Yes,
And
thank you too.
I had a look in the last time on your internet page, and you talk about things like you're a star traveler, like the things I'm talking even about. And even you talk about quantum perception. And today I thought about it, so we thought about it's a good idea, or it could be a good idea to talk about a little, or maybe you can introduce yourself and yeah, what are the things you're talking about?
Yes, thank you, Kevin. I'm also very happy that it's possible that we can speak in the other side of the world together in here. And needs also a little bit adjustment in to speak in English. Um, Short thing about myself, I'm also not, as I say, I experience myself as a cosmic traveler. In a couple of years, it's being more aware about my cosmic family and yeah, feelings that are coming where I can feel more and remember more about myself. Um, Sometimes I also say I'm not from here because I'm not born in Holland. I'm also born in another country in South Africa. That's yeah, was a that's where I lived 7 years, and where I am very jealous about the temperature where you are in 35 degrees. I like that temperature here. It's not so warm, but it's good to do. Um, but yeah, so I was also traveled from South Africa to Holland, and well, yeah, traveling is one of the things that I at this moment I'm traveling in Holland, speaking about all kinds of things. I've been a teacher for 18 years in physics, um, and try to also to yeah, be to investigate how consciousness works with children also, and how they learn. But I discovered that the program of the school program is very dense, so you cannot, yeah, well, the awareness for children is because the school program is very, how do you say, yeah, dense, has a lot of force. So, in a moment, 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, I felt to stop with working as a teacher, and that happened in a contact with nature. When I felt this, I'm not going to continue with this work, and I'm going inside myself, and I'm going to discover what is more in myself than outside myself. And so I started these, like the first thing I wanted to talk about was the living hologram. That's the place where we are in. As I look at myself, I'm in a living hologram. And all the vibrations of this hologram is very interesting from the heart. So I talk about the heart, about the mind or the head, how it was all in the brain. I also talk about crystals that are in your brain, and what you can do with these crystals. There are receptors and emitters, and if we use these crystals, we can connect also with the crystal fields of the earth, um, because also animals do this, and there's a lot of investigation about these things. I also talk um, about light, about that the light is, we only see 0.005% of the light spectrum here. So what if we could see more? And is this the eyes, or is it the brain that doesn't receive these signals? Sound is very important. Vibration of sound. How can sound vibrations, yeah, influence our body? Because we are water, like Dr. Emoto also talks about. What do vibrations of consciousness, but also vibrations of sound, do with our bodies? And I also talk about the designers of this reality, and a lot of other beings that are in this reality also designing through our bodies and in our holograms. And I also talk about these things that happen around you in your hologram, and how can you observe them with quantum physics, so you can see what is really not you can see what's really happening, but you can discover what is going on if you observe it in a neutral way. And if you can observe neutral, then the perception, there's a lot of perception of information around us, like internet and all these things, and you can, if you observe these things from a quantum perspective and you connect it with your head and your heart, then it will change. And that's what I'm discovering and speaking about with other people together. So I'm not telling how it's going to be done, but I call it in Dutch, it's samenspraak, to talk together, because everybody has an experience, everybody is investigating here. And if we can tell about our investigations, then we can enrich our experiences, because that's what I try to do, to speak about experiences. What we are, that's something what is not, that is your experience. So that's the other vibration. And then, the quantum observing or quantum perception is one of the key things for me. What I'm doing all these years, and looking in my reality, discovering things and traveling also without my body to places that are important, but they all come from inside. The movement is from inside, not from the mind. So it's a lot of things about how does the mind influence my perception. It's a big job here in this place. Yeah. But that's the summary about what I'm speaking about right now. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can say that's a lot. Like the reality is, so it's so this reality is not so easy as they told us in school. I try to summary it a little. So in school they teach us the way is like the life is like this and like this and like this. But what is outside of the 0.005% of what we can really observe?
Yeah.
You said short of other beings where influence us. This is an important point, I think. Even the point with the quantum perception that we can change the result of what we experience here in life. 2 years ago, you said you quit your job and started a new way. So you invited new possibilities in your life. And maybe other people even know it. When you have a big decision, or you made a big decision in your life, for example, quit the job, that the whole universe, the whole reality will react to this and will open so many doors and possibilities.
Yes.
Maybe you want to say something about this.
Yeah, sure. Yes, the moment that it started was a frog. Two frogs were in front of my kitchen window, and I went outside and I observed these frogs. What they were sitting there, like these frogs were sitting like we are here, and we are not afraid. When I go to the frog, they sat there, and they were just out of the ground, so they were going somewhere. And yeah, when I observe my reality, I feel and I observe at the same time. So this was a moment of being in the moment, having yeah, I don't know how do you say attention. Yes, having attention for the moment. So I was in the attention for the moment, and then the frog jumped, and he jumped again, and we looked how he did this. I felt how he did this, and then I saw where you're going. And I know the place in my garden was a kind of a close, but there was a little spot where they could go through. And then they jumped very from feeling. That's what I observed, and then I saw them going through this narrow place. And then they went there through it, and then I couldn't see them anymore. But I knew if they go further on, there's the water. So they feel where the water is. So everything in this moment, was maybe 3 minutes. I experienced about feelings, what you can do if you feel what you are doing and you're not afraid. That's what they took, what the frog, what I learned about this experience with these animals. You can also say this is extraterrestrial experience, because what is a frog? And then a week later, they said, we don't have any work for you anymore. So your contract at this school is going to end. So I thought by myself, well, if I felt, not I thought, but now both, I used them. Will I jump in fear to the next job, as I always did? Or will I sit like a frog and wait and feel what is necessary? So I didn't do nothing. I was sitting in myself in the summer, and I was looking at a lot of things, and I felt I did do things, but not doing things for work. And then September came, and then I'm not going to go for a job. And all these things around me changed, and I still had money, and I could get money from different places. And I'm still doing this 2 years, and things are coming if I stay with my feelings, and if sometimes I go out and then I see, if it's too much tension, then I have to go back and relax again, go inside, because there's a lot of things around us that want to go pull us outside our bodies, pull us. You have to react, of course, but if you remember who you are, if you remember I'm a cosmic being in this body, in this hologram, things will change. And I'm not manifesting things, but I'm aware that I'm a creator in this reality. That's what the frog. That experience was a good, big change for me, if I can say it on the outside.
So thank you for that. So the reality or the matrix we're living in is always trying to get us out of the body. Is the matrix or the reality tries always to put us in different ways as we feel. So I have a feeling of, okay, I want to quit my job. I want to do whatever. I want to travel more. I want to do whatever. But the mind is reacting directly with, this is not possible because I need money. I need this. I need safety. I need this. I need more secureness. And then we follow the outside rules from the matrix, but not our own feelings.
Yes.
And then you said, and this is like I see it too. I feel to do this, but my mind is telling me we have to do that. Yeah. So what is happening inside myself when I just sit in the silence and feel and see and observe all the reactions? What can happen and what will happen when I just observe and feel those fear fields, or the fields of the fear fields? What is happening?
Yeah.
And
yes.
And then we can find out that the emotion of the fear, or the emotion, the field under the fear, is just an information field, what we can open with our perception. And when we feel it, we can open it, and complete different way will open.
Yeah.
But first we have to sit down and feel.
Yeah. And then if what you said, if you go deeper through the fear, you have to go through the fear, and then behind the fear, that's the force. That's the force of creation. And so I woke up in a day, and then in a night, and then wow, all kind of workshops came. Oh, and I write them down, and then I went to sleep, and I woke up again, and wow, you see, the creation is coming. Even in the night, then I know what to do, and then I do that, and then I feel these words what I wrote down, and so I have the confidence that I'm a creator. I don't have to, because my mind says, "Oh, I know nothing. I don't know what to do." But then in the night, it came. And that's my trust in my creation.
Yeah, so trust, perception, patience.
Yeah, patience, yeah.
And your story with the frog, that is really an interesting point. When I want to tell it short.
Yeah.
I was 2.5 years ago, I was in Mexico in the jungle for almost 14 days. And in the jungle, so the owner of the house, I had a small tiny house there, and the owner of the jungle resort, I would call it like this, he had 7 dogs. And I sat in the late evening, it was, I don't know, 8 or 9 p.m. I sat in the garden, and I cuddled the dogs. So we just cuddled, and they were so nice, the dogs. And suddenly all the dogs started to bark. Is it bark?
Yeah,
started to bark and jump into the bush. Yeah. And I said, "Oh, what's happening here?" And I stood up and I went to the dogs, and all the 7 dogs stood around a big frog. That was such a big frog. It was the next level of frog. Wow. And the hairs at my body stood up at this moment. So I had a big, it was a strong moment. Yeah. And I just observed the frog and the dogs. All the dogs were barking, and the frog was just sitting there. And suddenly a voice in my head, and it was such a force field. Nothing can happen if I just stand here. The fear can do nothing. Exactly. And then was a moment of silence, and the frog jumped out of the circle of the dogs, and the dogs behind him. And I took my, I had a headlamp on, and I turned it on, and I had a look, and the frog was gone. Yeah. It was not possible because there was an open field, but the frog was gone. Yeah. And I thought, wow, it was so vibrate. I had such a big vibration field inside myself. That was kind of an opening. It was that was a special moment. That was not a frog. That was like, because I've been in a situation, a lot of many things were in imbalance, many things are unsure, and I experienced a lot of fears inside myself. But the message of this of this moment was, hey, just breathe. Nothing can happen. Yeah. The fear can do nothing to you. Just feel it, open it, and it's gone. Exactly, and that's what the matrix shows us. If you can read it, like you talk about this, huh? If you can. But you can. They sometimes the matrix shows you things and feels you. Let's show it and feel it. And if you can really feel and understand what is going on, like you were explaining here, that's the reaction from inside. What you are working on, that's a reaction to the outside. And then you see it in the outside, and wow, and it's even forceful. So for me, wow. Look at this. That shows me again. This is what it is. And then you go deeper and deeper and deeper. And the nature, that's what I like, the vibration of nature, like the jungle. I'm very happy if you talk about jungle. And wow, this is what it is. This is where we are. And yeah, thanks about your experience. Yes. Yeah. Inspiring. Because our minds make big dogs. You see a frog that is smaller than a dog,
but has more power in his being than the dog. And the dog has maybe something else in his system, but our perception is, oh my God, this is so big, I cannot overcome this. And 7 dogs and 1 frog, and the frog goes away.
Yes.
That's not only frogs, but a lot of animals and beings are living like this. And that's what nature is showing us, is that there is no fear, there's no mind, there's no mortgage, there's no money, there's no, the nature is in the now. And the nature is inviting us to come back in the now. And that's what I'm discovering. If I go back to South Africa, that's what I felt in South Africa, the nature, the jungle, the warmth, everything. Then I came here in Holland and I was sitting in a cube of flats and of living in coldness. So it has cost me about 30 years to go back in who I am, and to experience again this feeling of the nature and of the force of nature that we are all living in.
Yeah, such an important point. The went back or go back in the now moment. Right now I'm in the Philippines. You said it in the beginning, short. You are on the one side of the earth. I'm on the other side. And this is even something what I experience here. So the people have less material things, but it feels to me like they are more in the moment. And this is what I observe inside myself too. When I'm in Germany, the Netherlands, or anywhere in Europe, the thought fields are stronger. And here it's more. Of course, here it's even challenging on several ways. But I'm more in the moment. So this is even because of the different places or the different cultures, the different collective mind clouds we are connected to. So when I'm in Germany, I have the head full of thoughts from morning to the evening. Here, of course, I have even thoughts, but so less to Germany. Yeah.
Great. Yes.
So an invitation to all the people who watch this talk, how important it is to go into silence, to spend time with yourself, to feel what you really feel, and try to find out what's the difference between what is what I think and what is what I feel and what is what I really want to do. Do I want to follow my thoughts, or do I want to follow my feelings?
Yeah, exactly. And like people are going on holiday or vacation to feel this self, or to relax, but you can do this every moment. Everything is in yourself right now. It doesn't matter if you are where you are or where I am, or I have to go back to Africa because there I feel myself. No, you can do it in this body, in this moment, every moment. And you don't have to go exterior, go interior, and feel this, and also feel exterior. You can. It's not a. For me, it's not a difference. You have to feel your body, and you observe the others, your surroundings, but you can be everywhere. Your consciousness is so big. And traveling is traveling is not outside of your body. It's more like you travel inside, and then a lot of things open. That's the other other vibrations that you will experience.
So the whole reality is happening inside us. So we can customize and design the reality in us. Exactly. That brings me to a point. You talked a few sentences before that. That nature is not afraid. The animals are not afraid. They just live. And what is happening right now on the planet is they show us in the media, in the TV, in the news, they show us there's a war, less resources, an energy war, energy crisis, and this and one crisis after the other. I think it's in the whole world, it's the same in the TV. not only in the Netherlands, I think, and I just can say how it is in Germany. So from 20 news, you have 19 bad, and the other one is the ice bear in the zoo.
Yeah.
So everything is about bad news, but it's not about the bad news. It's about to scare us. It's about they wanna control the direction we live. So they show us the world is going down. Here's a war. There's a war. Everybody's against each other. This religion is not good. These people are not good. So they try to separate and split us. And even in situations like this, what can we do? They tell us something in the TV, in the news, wherever, and our minds start to create thoughts about it. Oh yes, this is true. I have to change my behavior. I have to change something in my life. I have to do this. I have to be scared. I'm scared. I don't want to go there because there are the people bad. I don't want to go there because I'm scared now, because there is a war. There is a possible war. There is a possible war. I stay at home. This is the secure zone. I feel comfortable here.
Yeah.
But this is not what you feel, I think. So this is not what you have to feel, but I think this is not what we feel. What do we feel? And what is happening when they try to scare us? This is something we don't have to accept. This is even quantum perception and the silence. Yeah, we can go inside and feel all the shit they tell us, and what is the scary stories. What are the stories doing to us?
Yeah,
and then we can perceive it. We can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And bam, and we can move free again.
Exactly. And if we observe that, we feel and observe all these stories, and we can make it free, let it go or make it free, then you will feel more your being, your cosmic being, coming or connecting in this body, in this hologram. And as I observe it in my life, they give you a lot of programs, a lot of experiences, a lot of pain, a lot of if it's information, then it will be maybe a traumatic experience. So to give you a lot of vibrations that will give you they rest on your shoulders. You feel yourself not good. So. But if you observe these things from inside with the quantum perception, and you connect with your heart and your feelings and your mind, because that's you have your head that controls your hologram and your body, then you can relax. And all these things that is on your shoulders, what is not really on your shoulders, but you observe there, then it can fall off. And how more it falls off, how more cosmic force and consciousness will come in this body. And that will change the reality. Things will, people or things want to go, they want to give it to you. So it's all you. If you accept it, then you have it on your shoulder, but you don't have to accept everything, things that are coming to you. Then you will relax and things will change. So that's what I also do with myself. If I don't have to react from a letter that comes from me, or I have to pay, or I don't have to do it because, because why? Huh? Do I feel it? No, that's a program in my system. I observe it that has a reaction time. We have a lot of things around us that keep these reactions and we have to pay every day, every time the rent, we have to pay this, we have to pay that, we have to do this, we have to do that. And if we just stop doing sometimes these things, we can do it, but not on the time that is they ask us to do it. So then the first thing, if you do that, you take your own decision, your own feeling, and then you say, okay, now I can do it. Only when I feel it. And then you're changing your reality. Yeah.
This is such an important point. Thank you. So we talked about the reality is giving us all the time things we have to react for. And just to say, oh yes, there's the letter I have to pay, but not now. I don't feel it.
Yeah.
And then in 1 week or in 10 days, there's the moment of now I feel it. Bam.
Yeah.
And this is bam.
Yeah.
I don't take it from the outside. I just observe it, but I stay in, but I can't stay, or we can stay in our feeling, in our field, and react to this. Also not react because of it. I react from the within.
Yeah. Exactly.
And my movement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's so much to talk about, so much to what we can investigate.
Yeah.
So we are cosmic beings. We have a cosmic consciousness. We are this cosmic consciousness in this body, connected to the body, or kind of plugged in the body. And we can observe all the reactions, all the programs inside the body. I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this is okay, this is not okay, this is forbidden, this is allowed. And when we take time and the silence and we observe and we feel and we live the silence really inside ourselves, then we can experience a complete new hologram, complete different reality.
Yeah. That's one of the main things like we are doing this talk is to inspire people, or you who are watching this, to observe your reality and to be a creator in your reality. So if you can, you don't have to observe every moment. Well, would be nice, but sometimes I also told someone, you have and you see it as a big web. You have all trauma pieces, all line of they're in your body or outside. And if you just take one piece, like a web, it's like a web around you. But if you can take one trauma, one important thing, and if you start pulling on this thing, that's what is all connected in the web, you can pull on it, and if you take it out, then the whole web will collapse. So you don't have to go all your traumas, and you have to do years of courses and stuff. If you take one important thing, you work on this. That's how I did it in these 2 years. I made the web of all things where I'm connected to, and then I go to one important thing, and then I was working on that. And when that relaxes, when that point in the web will disappear or change, and then it has influence on the whole frequency web where I'm in right now, and all these things will change. So if you it doesn't matter what kind of subject you are, if you go to your father or your family, and you take this program, what is making it heavy for you, and you relax this program, it has influence on all the other things in your system. So you get the main frequency of your system will change, and it has effect in all the other things. That's what I discovered.
Thank you for this image with the web, and just put one. Wow, this is really doing something to me now. I have to. Wow, yeah, really, that's a nice image, really nice image. And what comes up in me is, so I heard about people, they work the whole life at their traumas from morning to the evening, just trauma work. But it's not possible. It's not necessary. I experience it on a similar way. So just do what you feel, and you're not all the time, but you're very often confronted, or you're very often in contact with the trauma, and then you can work with it. So just break through.
Yeah.
So you walk the streets, and maybe I talk the short. So I'm currently in the Philippines, and since 5 weeks now. And 5 weeks ago, I started to observe a trauma inside myself, a big fear field. And first, I didn't understood it, what it is. So I walked the streets here, and in the Philippines, you have a lot of imbalance. You have a lot of poorness, poverty, I think. Poverty. And I walked the streets, and in the one town in Manila. Manila is the capital of the city, and it's very chaotic here, but even very, very nice people. And I walk the streets, and every 20 meters, people ask me, "Hey, sir, give me dollar, give me money, give me something for food." And I really felt like a walking object. And what I even observed inside myself was all the time a reaction of, "Oh, leave me alone. I go, leave me alone." It was a kind of my system was reacting. So I felt this feeling of, I felt it, I saw it, but I couldn't control the moment because I felt my system is reacting. So homeless and poor people asked me for money, and I felt the reaction of, "Oh, I have to go." And I went. And I went again, and I felt, "Oh no, I can't." And then I went home and sit down and felt, man, what is happening inside? It's a human asking for money. So I don't have to give money and I don't have to run away. So something is happening. I couldn't stay in the moment to say no or yes. So I just felt my whole system is reacting in a kind of stress. It was a stress situation. And I observed it for 2 weeks. And then I thought, stop, here's something going on. It's something bigger. So I sit down on my couch in there, and I felt inside, and I watched the situation. I really took time for myself and invited all the situations when I met those people who asked me for money and food and all the things. And when I watched it in the silence, first I realized, yes, there's a fear. I'm scared of getting asked because they want something from me. And the second point was the matrix is touching my humanity, It's so hard to say no when I see suffering people because I want to help. I want to help everybody. I don't want to live in a world where just one person is suffering. And these things came together, and I observed it, and I felt, oh yeah, now it's clear. Now I can go outside on the street. And the following 7 days, I went every evening in Manila. In the center of this happening, I said to myself, okay, I make my own trauma therapy. So I went out every evening and walked the streets. And everywhere the people talked to me, I tried in the beginning, I tried to just ignore it, and I just walked. I felt, okay, it's doing nothing. I don't feel anything. It's okay. And then I stopped at the people and watched them and started and I started conversations to have with them. So what's your name? How old are you? How did you came in this situation? And I really felt that some things are changing in the field because I was blocked in the beginning because of the fear, because of the trauma field. So the living force, my consciousness can't go inside the reality. Yeah. And like I told you, that was the one special situation. It's 5 days ago, 6 days ago, approximately. Mm-hmm. I had a fresh pressed mango shake in the streets in a different town. And suddenly, so I waited for my mango shake, and suddenly I saw two kids, two children. They were approximately 10 years old, and they came closer without shoes. And I felt directly that reaction field. So, oh no, there are homeless people, and it's nothing against homeless people. I want to help everybody, but it's the reaction in my system in this moment. Yeah. And then connected to the feeling was the thought of, you don't have to shake. You can go now. You can go change the side street and you can go. Yeah. And I thought, what? Why should I want to have my mango shake. There are just two children asking for money because I thought they talked to the people. And then I decided, no, I don't run away. I don't follow the reaction from the outside. I don't follow it. I follow my own feeling. And I felt I stay here. I am here. And yes, the two children came to me and they asked, sir, can you give us food, please? We are poor. We need some money. And I felt the feeling. And I really felt myself. And I said, hi, what's your name? And I forgot the name. He said Brian. Brian was the one name, and the other guy I don't know. The one was 8, the other 11 years old, and they asking for money together in the streets. And I asked, what is your name? And how old are you? And I asked them, how do you feel? And I felt that was a reaction for them they never got before. Yeah. I think what I experience in myself is what other people even experience, just ignore or run away or give $1, but don't think about, don't feel about the situation.
Yeah.
And then I asked them, guys, do you want a mango shake too? And they, yes. So I ordered 3 mango shakes, not just one.
Yeah.
And we got our mango shakes, and then we had a small conversation.
Yeah.
So I asked them how they are, how do they feel, how it came to the situation. And I just wanted to feel them. And it was possible for me to feel them. And it was possible to feel myself because I broke the trauma in this moment. So the whole body shaking reaction was gone. The fear was gone. The runaway reaction was gone. Everything was gone. Yeah. And we just said, cheers with the mango shakes.
Yeah, nice.
And I turned around, and all the people, so the mango shake store was inside a fruit store. And I turned myself, and all the people were watching us. And the guy who sold me or us the shake said, "Sir, thank you so much for your kindness." And in this moment, like right now, it was a feeling, it was an opening inside myself. And I felt, wow, that was such a big trauma field inside myself to block the real contact with other beings, with other people. There are so many programs inside myself. They try to avoid the real contact between humans. And of course, 2 small people asking for help. But in this moment, we had a real contact.
Yes.
And then I gave them a small money because I really felt it. It was such a nice moment. So they had the shake. We said cheers. It was such a nice moment. All the people were watching. We smiled all together. It felt like a big opening field. The living force were inside. It was such an opening moment. And then I said goodbye to everybody, and I walked for 200 or 300 meters just to a street down, and I started to cry. It was such an emotional moment because I felt, yes, the deep contact with the human beings was possible because I broke the trauma field. I faced the fear. I don't run away. I didn't change the side of the street and walked away or whatever the possibilities are. And then I just had to sit and felt myself. I just sat at the street and felt myself and cried. And this was so nice. And the invitation to everybody, have a look for that kind of fears and trauma fields of what you're afraid. And another fear was being afraid of talking in public about it. But why? But why? This is the same. Why we are afraid? Who is afraid? This is not me. Not the consciousness being I am. I'm not afraid. It's the program personality.
Yeah, exactly. And the interesting thing in quantum is that if you do this, if you had your experience like now, this is a quantum reaction in all the field. So because we cannot see what happens with our neighbors, but if we do something, not only our neighbors, but also people on the other side, you don't even know what happened with this experience in people in America or in other places in the world. So this is not because we cannot see everything, but if you can, in the quantum physics world, things will vibrate or have this information. And now we're talking about it, so it's going to be also recorded. But even if you do this and it's not recorded, it will be will send. It will vibrate in the whole field of see, there's a water field. This ripple will go through everything. And that's what we are doing here. We are creating ripplings, and if we go through these fear fields, things will change, and it will also support other people or beings or nature, or doesn't matter whatever, that will support these things. And we can do this together. This reality is going to change, but it will even change beyond our imagination. So what you were also told. Very nice. Thanks.
Thank you. Even so important. I had now the image again of the spider web you talked about with the trauma
Yeah.
fields. So
Yes.
what we talk about, what we open
Yeah.
now, what
Yeah.
what everybody of us is opens in themselves
Yeah.
has an impact
Yeah.
to the web. So
Yes.
everything is connected. So what you talk about, what we talk about has an impact
Yeah.
to the whole field. The whole
Yes.
field is all the time vibrating.
Yes, exactly. And that's why it's so important that everybody speaks from their experience, because you have people also experience these things and they think, well, it's nothing, it's not important. And the world doesn't think this is important. This is not on the news, this experience, uh, but it will be felt in the field. And every experience, every change you make in your life, every fear you face and you go through, and you start to go to feel in the feeling fields, then it will be it really will support a lot of other people or beings in bodies that having these difficulties to embrace their fear of traumas. And we can relax these realities, or relax these trauma fields, like you're also in trauma fields there. If a culture has a trauma, or you go to war zones, and you can relax these fields, then it will. That's also what beings are doing right behind me. The line beings also, they create a kind of vortexes where relaxation, and so that it will not be too traumatic, too erupting. So that's what we can do as a human body. We can relax places where we are just by observing and also being in ourselves. So we are even more forceful than we think.
This is exactly to the point what it is
Mm.
about. We are more as we think. We
Mm.
are able to change more as we think. We are so unbelievable powerful. Um,
Yeah.
just imagine what is possible when we humans of the planet, when we start to investigate and perceive ourselves, when we start to face the fears in real, when we leave all the fears behind and we start to follow our hearts. So real start, follow the heart in real, not just think about to do it in real, follow it, face the fears.
Yeah.
What can going on the planet?
Yeah, exactly. And we can stabilize all these excesses, all these, we can stabilize these, yeah, like a war. We can stabilize war. War can be also, if we how do you can say, we can change these things right now. So that even a war is going on, we can change it by observing it.
Yes.
We are stabilize it.
100%. It's like we talked about I talked about with the news and the media, what they're telling us. So in the newspaper, you read the first line, war is going on in. 10 million people read it, and the people imagine it, how it is in a war.
Exactly.
Oh man,
exactly.
What can happen? What is the problem of this? After that, we have no food, no energy, yes, I knew. And we are creating it. So what will happen when we sit down in this moment? Oh, I'm afraid of a war. Okay, have a sit. Bam. And I sit here, I feel the war. Okay, there's a fear of, I'm afraid of having no food, having no water, and all the interpretations of the mind. Just cut the interpretations, feel the feeling, and it comes the moment after 5, 10, 20 minutes of observations, and feel the feeling of bam.
Yeah.
And in this moment, the fear is neutralized. Nothing can happen. They need us to create this world. And of course, they want to use us for their, they need us for their idea of world or reality. But this is not the idea we humans have.
Yes. So information is kind of the information that we get every day. They want to our cosmic perception, our creation force it will go to the information that is being told to us. And if we decide no, and like you just said, I said just in different ways, no, I go inside myself. And I'm a cosmic being, and I'm looking at this information and I'm neutralizing this information, and it also will be this vibration will be directly quantum being changed in the outside hologram. So yeah, everything what comes to you, you can observe, and everything around you is information, even a news, but also a meeting with someone you will experience. If it's nice or not nice, doesn't matter. You can observe this, and you can change it directly, but not from the mind, but from the heart, and together with the mind.
Yes, not with the
yeah.
Yeah, so not with the idea or with the mind of, oh, we have to change this, we have to change that, we have to change this.
Yeah.
Oh, we can change it within. Just perceive it, feel it, and totally new possibilities will come in, because we are bringing our origin cosmic being inside.
Yeah. And if you see, sometimes you see people talking about love, and you have to only love. If you can generate more love, then the darkness will go. But that's not the thing that will work. If you also have to look at the darkness, and you also have to look at the light. If you say these two things, because it's both in this reality. And if you look at all these informations around you, you see there's still a lot of darkness, and there's still a lot of control. Even if we do a lot of love, and since my experience with spirituality, or 2012, oh wow, 2012, everything is going to change in a year, and it's going to be all nice and clear. But if I look at 10 years ago, it didn't happen. It didn't change. The things are getting more dense. But the other side, the consciousness is more getting forceful. So the reaction of control is also getting more forceful. So that's you can see it as a thing that is happening around us, and we are so forceful that we have to come in ourselves. That's the only way to change. To make it, the things that will change also will open, and we don't have to think we have to change the world as we think. We have to change the world as we feel. Because also that is a thinking thing. A lot of options are being told about how we have to change the world, and it's very nice. But if we really can feel that things are even more beyond our thoughts possible in this world, because we are controlling matter, we can control the matter in this world.
Yes.
From feeling fields, not from thought fields. Or maybe together. The thought is also an important thing to create something here.
Yes.
Like that.
Important is from what direction are the thoughts coming.
Exactly.
So when we are real connected with ourselves, boom, inside the body, boom, in connection with the heart, with the life force, boom, bring those frequencies in the head, boom, and then in the outside.
Yes, that's the movement.
So what is possible in the world when we start to investigate this?
It's possible to do it right now.
Right now, yes.
Every moment.
So for me, it feels round at this moment.
For me too.
I want to say thank you so much, Richard, that we could do this here together. Really, thank you. Thank you to all the people at the displays, at the screens at home. We don't do it we want to change the world, or I don't want to tell you how you have to live, what you have to do. It's an inspiring thing. It's yeah, just to that the people, the humans, can have a look that it is possible on a different way, and that we are more. Everybody of us is more as we think. It's not only the limited mind, you're more. We all are
Exactly.
more.
Yes. Yes. We are in a great changing of. If we can observe ourselves, the frequencies around us will change too. So we can experience more. Thank you, Kevin, and for this connection. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you too.